idea is just get used to peace being something that you can actually stay in a little bit more each time, because that peace is where all those ideas come from. And when you start understanding that, that's where your safe spaces. That's where, no matter where you are, what's going on in the world, that accomplishment, that ability to know that whatever I think I can actually create, I can do the action steps, because I know even if I can't do it all right now, I can get to the space where I need to learn a course. I can get to that course. I can go here. I can research this. I have the ability. And if I'm doing the steps that I already know, what's going to happen? The next ones are going to open up. The right people are going to see you. The right people are going to say, oh, I think you should go here. This course is fantastic for that. There's so much wisdom out there, so much knowledge, other people's um, references, right? Like what they've learned, what they've shared. When they share it with you, they're always going to lead you in a way. And it doesn't mean you have to follow everybody else. When you follow your own edges, the people that can help you get there automatically show up. That's what the universe does so well. It's just that weave that just keeps on weaving, and eventually brings you exactly where you need to go. So just focus on, in that space, what you can create, what you can enjoy, and what's next, without tasking yourself, oh my God, I must do this. Just get curious. What could I do next? What is the next thing I want to take on? Is there something that I'm going to enjoy? So a lot of processing that happens in that empty space, but it's a good processing. It's confidence building. It's empowerment. It allows you to see what it is you actually need to do, right? And it's actually what you're craving. A lot of people don't know that. They like, especially when you're used to chaos, you don't really realize that's what you're craving. But those quiet moments, uh, people chase it. They pay for that. They're going crazy trying to release a little bit of this, release a little bit of that, so they just have a little space of that time. And we can actively create it all the time once we start to understand what this space is. We go through it all the time. Every time we create something, every time we change our behaviors, every time we choose to do an upward spiral instead of explode and do all the negative things that lead us into the shame, fear, guilt cycle, right? That's a really heavy cycle. And when we choose something different, instead of all of that cycle, which takes up so much energy, now we have all of this extra energy here. And it's a space, and it's a peace, and it's a calm. And we can create so much more from it. So, at first, we might not know what it is we're actually craving until we get it. And once you learn to sit with it and understand it, you're like, oh, that's what I've been needing, and I want it so badly. How do I continue to do this? That's why I'm teaching what I teach is to teach you how to get there, and help you stay in it as long as possible. When you get to sit with it just a little bit and you start learning how to extend it out, you have all the tools. You know what it is. Sometimes maybe it's just painting. Maybe it's just drawing. Maybe it's just scribbling. It doesn't even have to be doing something constructive right away. If just scribbling takes your brain away and closes out the chaos and allows you to dream something new into being, then that's what it is. It's not about judging what the tool is. It's about trying a couple different things and finding what one consistently works over and over again. And then if that one works, you put it in the tool belt. That's why I always talk about the tool belt. And you're not only going to have one tool. If breath work works, the box breathing. If it works, if the tapping. And I was just talking to someone the other day. I was at a workshop actually, and they were talking about this little movement. You're trying to feel your fingerprints, and it's something I did since I was a kid. We inherently are doing emotional regulation tools. We weren't taught to do it. It was something that we always did, and it was something to bring us into the present, something to ground us, to keep us from going all crazy in the head and letting the worry and the fear and the chaos take over. It was such a little thing, and I was like, I do that now. What do you mean? And I really contemplated and I focus on emotional regulation tools, and it was something that I've been doing since I was a kid, and I didn't even know. And when we were discussing it, it kind of blew my mind, because that's always when I was too anxious or things were starting to get worried. One. Thank you, sir. When things were starting to get overly chaotic, it was just always something that I could do. Or holding the hands, right? These are grounding techniques. They're small, and um, even if people don't understand, because they're not perfect or they're not done perfectly, tapping your arm, tapping your side, doesn't matter, right? It's about bringing that energy into the here and now. And that's why when I say there's a million tools, there really, literally is. And it's finding one that works for you consistently. And there's going to be many different things that happen, but if rubbing your finger and thumb is the one that's been working for so long, notice it, pay attention to it, start celebrating it, using it. Oh yeah, I notice I'm doing it again, because it's also a trigger. And when especially if it's something you're doing unconsciously, if you're doing it, it's like, oh, why am I doing that? Because sometimes you don't even know you're feeling anxious, right? It's there, and you start to feel that feeling in your body, and you're starting to do your inherent emotional regulation tools that you didn't even know, right? You didn't even realize. So that was just one of those funny things that I thought was really interesting. So you can start noticing those things. You're going to start seeing all the times it happens, and that's how you make the change along the way. And that's where you create that extra space, because now you're not in the explosion loop, is what I like to call it.